I can tell.
4:25:09. The time is 21:48 hours. My name is Detective Sergeant Spagel with the Erie Police Department. In the room here is Detective Sergeant John Peters and Vincent Sack. Is that correct?
Correct.
Vince, you know you're being recorded right now?
Yes, sir.
So everything you say is being recorded?
Yes.
Okay. We're here to talk about an incident that took place sometime tonight. Want to just kind of start out, because right from the beginning, where you're coming from,
Right.
who's in the car?
We were parked. He's been there for 3 hours prior to the incident. We were having a picnic.
Where were you at?
We were at 2003 in the backyard.
Oh, you're on Franklin Avenue.
Right on 21st there.
What time did you get there today?
I got off work at 12.
Oh, so you've been here all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were cooking. He didn't get there till maybe about 5 or so.
Was that a family picnic or something?
Yeah, and then I had some burgers and chicken on the grill, and we were all in the yard. We felt some sprinkles, so the women got worried. Us guys were going ahead and securing the yard down, trying to get the kids in. I was trying to get the meat in. Jay said his T-tops were open in his car. He went over to the car.
Jason's your brother? Jason's one, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He said he was going to roll his windows up. That's last I knew. Turn around, take the meat inside. And as I'm talking to my wife and telling her I'm going to get the rest of the stuff wrapped up, Trav runs up to the door and says that they got a gun on your brother.
Trav?
Yeah, my wife's brother.
Is it T-R what? How you spell it?
T-R-A-I-S, Travis.
Oh, Travis.
What's his last name?
Salas, S-A-L-A-S.
So he saw the gun being pulled out too, right?
He was told, he was in the yard trying to round up the kids. Amanda, I guess, was on the road in the white, well, she's the one that owns the white Pontiac. I guess you guys have her here too.
Oh, okay.
She initially saw it. She yelled for help. Trav came running for me and told me that they had a gun. By the time I ran out, I'd say my brother was approximately about 20 feet from the guy, and I don't know what words were exchanged, how this scene set. I know that when I got visual, I see my brother's back, the guy holding the gun and holding a cell phone in one hand.
How far away is your brother and this guy?
There are two cars, where their two cars were parked. He was about middle of the distance.
So would you say a length of a telephone pole, which is around 30 feet? Or closer?
Closer.
Would you say the length of this room?
Corner to corner, yeah.
Corner, so we say around 15 feet?
Yeah.
So they're 15 feet apart approximately?
Yeah. From where I was, and I was running as fast as I can. I'm screaming to the guy, I don't even know this guy. Please don't shoot. And
You're looking at your brother's back? Or
yeah, I'm looking at my brother's back. And the shooter's looking at me. I'm screaming, don't shoot. Stop, Jay. Don't shoot. And then Jay was continuing, he's
What's your brother doing? You said your brother's on his cell phone?
No,
the shooter was
the shooter's on.
What's your brother doing? You can see his back?
Yeah, that's all I could see was just walking towards the guy slow, kind of just
Walking towards him?
Yeah, he was trying to walk towards the guy slow because he has ex-military experience, so I'm sure he was just trying to disarm the guy. And as he came in, I tried to scream no, and he tried to reach for the gun and went to go slap it, and I seen the guy drop his arm and just fire.
Did you hear any words being exchanged at that time?
All I could hear is dude said, "I'm gonna shoot." And then by that time I'm screaming. I can't hear what's being said because
he said, "I'm gonna shoot you if you come any closer."
That's exactly what I heard.
He said the shooter's on his cell.
As he's talking.
He's like this?
Yeah, like he hopped out like he was cool or something. Like just I'm on a cell phone. I got a gun to you.
And where did he have it? Where did he have it pointed at?
At his head.
He had the gun pointed at his head?
Yeah. And then as I'm running over, the guy disarms for a minute and I catch his attention, and that's when my brother pounced and tried to grab the gun, and then he almost had it out of the way.
You try to slap it away, just tear it away.
told him that that wasn't needed. We're having a fucking family picnic. And I told him, don't go anywhere, and I grabbed the hole, and I see my brother's back was bleeding, so I put my hand over the back hole, and I didn't know, but
As his hand went down, that's when he shot.
as his hand went down, it doesn't even look like he came within the...
Did he even make contact? Was he
I don't
able
even
to
think
slap
he
it or
even made
not?
contact. I thought he made contact, but the guy dropped his arm at the same time and just pulled the trigger
Did you hear shoot 1, 2, 3 times?
once, one shot.
Do you get a look at the gun?
Yeah, it was a revolver.
You know what color?
It was dark in color, brown grip, 380, 357 style, something like that. I don't know. Revolvers. And I didn't, I'm yelling.
What did you say, black in color?
Dark.
Dark?
In color, brown grip.
Did he say anything to you, the shooter?
He just told me to stand back or I'll shoot you. And I'm to my wife to go grab my gun. I'm a registered gun owner, but it's in the house. I don't carry my gun on me. I didn't know this dude from Adam. I'm thinking I'm gonna get shot myself, so I'm screaming, somebody please, And
Where did he point the gun at you?
at my head, told me that if I come near him, he's gonna shoot me. So I stayed my ground. I told him that wasn't necessary, and I just asked him why he shot my brother, and then I went down and grabbed him. I said, if you're gonna shoot me, shoot me.
What did he do?
He just stood there with the gun pointed at us.
And how quick will the officers show up? Did it seem like I'm sure you had a lot of things going on.
8 minutes, maybe
No,
10
no,
minutes.
I'm sure it seems like a lifetime, I know.
It felt like forever, but realistically, probably not that much time. It didn't seem too long.
So then you started yelling, hey, there's no need for this, right?
Yeah, I just yelled, why'd you do it? It's a family picnic. There wasn't even alcohol involved. It was just the kids around, the kids were in the yard, and if this dude was flying down the road, I know my brother, we got kids, slow the hell down. I bet you that's what was said, slow the hell down,
Did the
dude.
shooter say anything else to you?
No,
Oh,
I didn't even pay attention to him. I'm holding him and I'm screaming at him and I'm telling him, you shot my brother,
He say anything back to you?
No,
Just stand back or I'll shoot you, that's the only
that's
thing you
it.
remember.
Stand back and I'll shoot you. I told him, go ahead.
Your brother, did he have anything in his hands, did you
Nothing,
see?
no, my brother was, no, he was
Okay.
unarmed. Nothing at all. It was just a little bigger.
There's nothing you could have done. I know you're going to take for a while for you to feel that, but there's nothing you could have done.
I'm just so mad because right across the street was the Legends. And I moved into this house thinking I could make something of it, and then I got people shooting over at Legends and bullets flying in my house. I freaking got 2 kids of my own. And then this crowd.
You were up at the scene, weren't you?
No, I have no idea. I don't have a chance.
I just know if you understood the setup, how the cars run the street.
I tried to hold it.
Has anything been, okay.
Yeah,
we had permission to park in that yard there. How the street is.
Well, we know how Franklin Avenue is.
Right, if you're coming up Franklin.
Right.
We would be the first left before you hit Buffalo Road there.
Right.
With a wooden fence. As you come down, there's a fenced-in area.
I know exactly.
And then there's the yard opening. We had permission from Pern, which is here, to park our cars in, and that's where we parked our cars, and alongside my fence as well.
So your brother didn't drink at all that night?
I don't know.
But you didn't
I
see-
didn't see him drinking at all. I know he got there around 5. I'm not sure what he did before that. But he wasn't in any type of aggressive mood or anything. I mean, there was no signs of why this should have happened.
He was in a good mood?
Yeah.
Did you hear a call? You mentioned something about you think something about yelling slow down. Did you hear a car?
That's what I was told that,
Oh, okay, so you didn't hear anything.
No, honestly, I got onto the scene as Jay had his back to me and he was approaching the shooter.
Okay, but Amanda saw what happened.
Amanda was out there, she
And
screamed.
Travis might have seen something.
Well, yeah, see, Amanda screamed help because Trav was rounding up the kids. I was getting the meat. We all had a mission. Jay was gonna roll up windows. I was grabbing meat. Trav was getting the kids. We were all getting inside. The women were grabbing the other part of the food. And Amanda's yelling help. No one really paid attention, I guess, she said. And then she yelled it again and Trav looked and then Trav knew what was going on. So he ran up to the house door and yelled to me. And then I come running out.
We gotta get a window open up here.
It's hot. I come running out and as I approached them, I mean, if I was maybe 10 seconds, before, I could have seen what happened, but
When after you went down to take care of your brother,
yeah,
was the gun still pointed on you?
yes. He never disarmed his weapon. I asked him several times to disarm his weapon. There was no need for it. I wasn't gonna harm him. There was no need for it to begin with. I mean, what the hell are you gonna pull a gun on somebody that didn't even have a weapon? I mean, what are you in fear of? You're in fear of a guy telling you to slow down on the street that...
When did you see the doctor come on scene?
I guess the lady that we were in that yard area there, and the lady that is has that first house, the government issue type. I guess she's a third shift nurse at the jail. She come right over and told me she asked me, I was applying pressure, and I told her that his intestines were coming out the front, and I just was holding them, and she told me to go and let her hold, and then somebody else came, some other guy, and he was giving him CPR.
Did you see how he actually got the gun out of his?
No, it was already drawn when I got up to
No, I mean, did you see how the gun was actually removed? When the police arrived, is that when the gun came out of his hand?
Yes, yes.
Did he say?
No. And I'm totally sorry, no, because the police asked him where the gun was, he put the gun away, and I told him he had the gun, and they had to get his gun from him. The police asked where his gun was.
You never saw where he put the gun at?
No, I did not.
So at some point, he quit aiming it at, was that when the police showed up, he put it away?
You know what, that's probably when the first cruiser come, he probably put his gun in his car. But he had his gun on us the entire time until the first cruiser probably showed up.
Okay.
Because every time I'm screaming at him, he's there talking to someone on the cell phone. I'm not sure if it was 911 or what, but I'm screaming at whoever's on the cell phone, telling them they shot my brother. And
so when you see the cruisers, that's when you see, he's not pointing it anymore.
I didn't even know what happened, where he went. I seen the cruiser coming up. I'm screaming. There was so much going on. I'm so sorry.
So you lost track of him at some point, right?
Yeah.
Probably when people came to help?
Yeah.
So how long a period do you think he had that gun on you, approximately?
It had to have been at least 5 minutes longer. It had to have been, I'm sure that, because the police took only a certain amount of time to get there, and when I knew that he was in bad shape during the yell, I didn't really care from that point on. I was just trying to keep my brother awake, alive, I don't know.
Did you hear the police sirens come?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anything else you could tell us that you think it might be important?
Not at all. This shouldn't have happened.
Is there anybody else that we could talk to? Who might have saw what happened other than Amanda?
Amanda she was the only one out there, and Vern, he was building that garage area right here, and they're both here. So the only people that saw this was us three, and I only seen the tail end of it, and I seen him get shot,
We'll probably end up wanting to talk to you maybe sometime next week.
That's fine.
Just wanted to make sure we...
I mean, you can't shoot.
You never heard your brothers say anything towards him at all?
There was probably an exchange of words,
but you never heard anything.
I couldn't see physically mouth moving, who was yelling it or what. As I was running up on him, his back was to me, and the shooter was paying attention to me, and the shooter, it just so much was happening. I don't even know. I know he was saying, "You come," I come closer, and I'm shooting him. I said, "Don't shoot, Jay, stay still," and nobody was listening.
Did do you know this person at all? You ever seen him before?
No, I guess Travis, Mandy's brother, said that's Jewel Askins.
But you don't know who he is?
I can't confirm that.
You think your brother knows Jason?
No.
Was the shooter's car blocked or anything?
No.
Was there any reason for him to stop?
No reason for him to stop at all.
So it's not like he couldn't get by.
He could have just kept going. He could have kept going. And like, he probably was speeding down the road.
So your brother's car is legally parked?
It was legally parked, yeah.
And it's still parked there right now, right?
Right.
So make sure it stays there. I'm sure there's a police
I
officer.
just told them to make sure they roll up the windows with T-tops on it if I
That'd
don't
be
get
great.
back.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay.
If they can do that, I mean.
We don't really do anything to the car. We just want to see how everything's
No,
going.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's, yeah. It's been there, it was cold. I mean, he was been there for a couple hours.
Anything else you got? And you said your brother got there around 5. What time did this actually take place? You know approximately? No?
Did your brother work today or?
Yes, he did. He worked with me and so did Travis. We all work at the same place. We're a big, tight family.
Okay.
But you were done at noon today, right?
Everybody.
Oh, you're all
shop
done at
closes
noon.
at
Okay.
noon. Yes, but I went home, prepared, mowed grass, did all the,
You people are coming over.
yeah, I was laboring all day. I just wanted a good picnic, good turnout. We were looking through old pictures. I mean, it was just a memorous picnic.
Again, we really, reach out for you. We'll be there for you. If you have any questions, he gave you the card. Don't hesitate to give us a call. We'll end this interview at 22:04. It's 4:25:09. The time is 22:11 hours. And my name is Detective Sergeant Spagel, and this is Detective John Peters, and you're Jennifer Brown, right?
Yes.
And Jennifer, you're being recorded right now?
Yes.
Okay. We're just here to talk about what incident today that you witnessed.
Okay.
Okay. Can we start? Where were you at today when this all happened?
Between 19th and 20th of Franklin Avenue, I was in between the yard and the house that my dad had just bought. He was remodeling the back wall on the garage.
What time did you get over there today?
What time did I get there?
Hmm.
I'd say it was probably 7:40, 7:45. He called me and asked me to get him come down and get him a couple 2x4s. Thought he needed a couple more. And I went and I got him and I brought him back to him. Then I walked up, got 2x4s for him. And Vinny walked over and handed him a plate of food from the barbecue. And my dad, he had a couple beers, so
Your dad did?
yeah. So he wasn't, really hungry at that point in time, And so
Do the yards connect or something?
he owns from 19th to 20th and halfway into the block minus 2 houses. So we walked over.
What's your dad's name?
Vernon.
Vernon. V-E.
R-N-O-N. And then we walked over to his house.
To Vinny's house?
No, we walked to my dad's house.
Oh, okay.
Which is 1909 Franklin Avenue.
And that's where you're doing the work at?
Nope, it was, the house is on 20th Street.
Okay.
He had just bought in the house, and then it's got to be gutted and redone and so on and so forth.
Okay.
But at this point in time tonight, he was redoing the garage.
Okay.
There was a back wall that he was redoing on the garage. I don't know the exact address of that house though. So we walked over to his house at 1909 Franklin Avenue, and we sat there for a minute. We walked back, and we were talking for a minute, and he was like, "Oh, proud of his work, shake this 2x4, and he looked
Your dad's
how
saying
solid it is." Yeah, my dad was saying that to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting there and we were talking, and then I just seen my dad's head just turn, and trying to talk to him, and I'm looking at him like, dang, he's not paying attention to me, And I look, Dad, Dad, what are you looking at? What's going on?
What time is this around?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
That's right.
Honestly, don't know. I didn't really look at my clock. So I was standing there and I asked my dad why he wasn't paying attention to me, and all my dad said was that guy's got a gun. So I kind of moved out a little bit because I was kind of standing in the corner of the garage, you know. And plus there was a tree there. There was a tree a couple yards away that was pretty much in my way too. You know, I moved over a little bit and I looked, and this kid was in blue shirt, khaki pants.
Blue shirt, khaki pants.
Shorts or pants?
Shorts, sorry.
Shorts.
Khaki shorts. And he was holding a gun.
How big was he? How tall? Anything like that?
He was a bigger build. I'd say he was about 5'3".
So you're saying short? How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
Is he
I
taller than
would
you?
say he was about my height, maybe a little bit taller. So I'd say anywhere between 5'2" and 5'4" is where I would put him. I mean, I was so far away.
How far away approximately?
I'd say probably about 4 car lengths.
You say bigger build, like fat, chunky, husky?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, he pretty much bigger shirt, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's hard to tell.
Okay.
You know, if I had to guess his weight, I would probably put him about 185. So as my dad said, he's got a gun. I looked out and I seen the kid in the blue shirt and khaki shorts holding a gun. And I seen this other kid at the time, I didn't know who it was, who was wearing a white shirt. And he had shorts on, I don't remember what color they were. Kid was holding the gun straight up to his face. And the kid was, you know, they were bickering back and forth. I didn't hear anything that they said. I was way too far away.
How close were
Was
they to each other?
it at his face or he's pointing
They
at
were
his face?
they were about a car length away when it started. And
When you start seeing them?
they were about a car length away when I first seen them. And they were bickering.
What's the guy with the gun doing?
He was on the phone, bickering, pointing a gun at him, you know. And I seen Jay's brother, which at the time I didn't know who it was. Now I know. You know, I seen Vinny's brother. It was Jay. Seen Vinny's brother walking towards him, and the kid was kind of backed up a little bit. So Jay was walking towards him a little bit more, and then the kids started coming towards him. And they were still screaming at each other. And Jay, as the gun was pointed at his face, Jay took his hand and he went like this to try to smack the gun. And he hit his arm right here, which lowered his hand. And at that point he shot. And at that point, my heart fell to my stomach and my body just went cold. And it was in the middle of the street when it started. And Jay ended up on the side of the road in my dad's grass. And
He smacked his hand down?
he went to go smack his hand, and he must have just hit his arm and went down. They were that close.
And then how long after that did he shoot him?
It was an instant. As soon as bang, as soon as he hit his arm, he hit the trigger. All I heard was pop,
One shot?
one shot. And then he just stood there. Kid that shot him just stood there, talking on the phone. You know? I don't know what he did with the gun. At that point, like, I just seen the kid, he just stood there like he didn't even do anything, you know? And
Was he still pointing a gun?
he actually, that's when Vinny came running out, and he actually pointed the gun at Vinny.
So Vinny came running out at that time?
Vinny came running out, yes. Vinny came running out into the middle of the street, and he started going towards his brother, and the kid was pointing the gun at Vinny. And the kid, I don't know what the kid was saying. Like I said, I was far away. And Vinny screamed, you know, that's my brother, that's my brother. I heard Vinny scream because he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and and Vinny was like, you shot my brother. You know, and Vinny's like, go get my gun, go get my gun. You shot my brother, you shot my brother. And, you know, of course at that point in time, it hit him that he had already been, it hit Vinny that his brother had already been shot and was laying on the ground. And like I said, the kid that shot him was just standing there, like he didn't even do anything, like he was a witness, you know. And Vinny ran up to his brother, and he was screaming, "Somebody call 911!" And at that point in time, I was already on the phone. My dad was on the phone, and I'm sure everybody that was at his party was already on the phone. There was probably a neighbor that was on the phone, you know. So we were standing there, and my dad starts walking towards him as Vinny is out there, and the guy's got the gun pointed at Vinny. My dad starts walking up the yard, and I'm screaming, "Dad, no! Dad," because that's the last thing I would have needed to see, you know. "Dad, don't do it." Dad would stop, think about it for a second, walk up a couple more steps. I'm like, "Dad, don't do it," you know? So we stopped. And then the lady that lived next door to that big empty lot, who, according to my dad, apparently is a nurse for a prison or something, she came running out along with a guy, I believe it was, and she ran up, and Vinny was there, so it was Vinny and that lady was there, and then like there was 5 people around them. And as soon I didn't move from the garage until I seen the cops.
Did you ever see where he put the gun at after the shoot?
No,
Do you see how long he was holding the gun on Vinny?
honestly, no.
You don't remember? It's hard to gauge the time frame.
All I know is all I know is he was pointing the gun at Vinny, because he was basically in my tree view. His body was in the tree, and his hands were sticking out of the tree, because like the dispatchers were like, "Whoa, go in the house." You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to be like a witness to this, you know what I mean? So I just kind of went like around the corner and was still kind of peeking out, just, you know, to see what was going on.
Did you actually see the shooting though? You had a good...
I actually seen the shot, yes.
There's nothing was in your way at that time?
No.
Clear view?
Clear view.
How far away were you at that point? That point?
I was still in the garage, but I was moved over away from the tree. Yes, I did see the shot, and I did see him get hit, and I did see him stumble over and land in my dad's yard.
And you were on 4 car lengths away at that time?
Yes.
How many steps did he take before he fell?
I'd say about 3 or 4. About 3 or 4. And he landed.
So from where he got shot to
on
where
his
he
side.
landed?
Yeah.
From where he landed, 6 feet, 7 feet away. I haven't been up there, so I'm just trying to envision.
Yeah.
I'd probably say, if you say that wall's in the middle of the road, I'd probably say the yard was about right here.
When he slapped the gun and the shot got fired, they're still in the middle of the road?
Yes.
Okay.
he stumbled to the side of the road and fell in the grass, and he fell on his side.
Did you hear anything beforehand? Any cars racing up and down the road? Did you hear any yelling or screaming?
No.
No?
No.
So the first thing that brought your mind, your eyes to this was your dad kind of just looking.
My dad, the first thing that brought my eyes to this was my dad saying he's got a gun.
Okay.
And my dad did scream from the garage. We were still in the garage. My dad could just tell that he was going to shoot him. And my dad screamed twice, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
You think you heard him?
Honestly, I don't think he heard him. I think he was too caught up in what he was doing and with the kid's adrenaline rush with everything that was going
Do
on.
you think he was close enough to hear him though?
Only 4 car lengths.
Yeah.
I think he was close enough to hear him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I mean, I think he was close enough to hear him because, yes, my dad did scream it. And if I could hear Vinny screaming what he was screaming, I know darn well that that kid heard him.
Okay.
Should have heard him. I mean, like I said, I think the kid was too into the mix to even, you know what I mean?
Too focused.
He said, "Don't do it."
My dad said, "Don't do it," twice. Screamed it. "Don't do it. Don't do it." And then the gun went off. And my dad started walking forward, and I'm
Can
like,
you describe the gun at all?
it was, I know it was black. That's all I know. I know it was black, and I know the only thing I just heard pop.
Okay.
I seen